digital future, and it's no longer, as you said, the film industry. It's a digital industry at the moment. Yes. So I think the country, not only in films and entertainment, in everything else, is adapting very well. Especially India, and our honorable Prime Minister is encouraging it. The government is encouraging, and there are a lot of incentives also for for technology in our country. And I see a great future, and I think we Indians are good at adapting and very, very hardworking people. We are kind of people who can really work for 16 to 18 hours in a day without, blinking an eyelid. That's been, I think, our success. And of course, with 1.3 billion people in our country, I think it's a great platform and a great future for everybody, anybody who is adapting to this technology, and we are adapting. Was it a very long answer?
It was bang on perfect.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can I follow on?
Yeah.
First of all, Slumdog Millionaire is one of my favorite movies of all time, so thank you for that. It was wonderful. But in watching your career, you've been such a harbinger of dynamism. You've done so many different, in so many languages, as you just said, so many parts, so many languages, so many different movies. How do you manage to stay relevant for so long? Because you are just as relevant today than I think going back to the first movie you were just describing.
Thank you very much for saying that. But yes, of course. Obviously, for me, it's always, I take inspiration. Like, of course, there's, inspiration from, Microsoft, inspiration from individuals, companies. I keep on reading, I keep on watching, and of course, I listen. And of course, I have, like for example, Rishika is there, and Eros is very blessed to have a younger generation. And I have my children who also keep me relevant and keep me on my toes. I have 2 daughters and a son, and so it's an atmosphere of different tastes, different, everybody has got different passions, and nobody's a fan in my house of anybody. Everybody is very independent, so I get a lot from my children and from my family, and I've always been, I'm ready to fail. That's the biggest, I think, a lesson which I've learned is that I am ready to fail. I'm ready to make a fool of myself. And I think that's what has kept me relevant. That I have dived into things and everybody has said that this is disastrous. What are you doing? Like when I started my career in Telugu and Kannada films, I started my career with bit roles, and they said, you're doing bit roles so constantly all your life, you're going to get only small roles. I started as a background actor. Then I did regional films. Then my first film as a leading man was a film which was not a conventional leading man. I did a film which was completely unconventional, where I played a small town guy who comes to become a music director. So on and so forth, in my career, I've done films, done roles. Then I did, out of the blue, I did Slumdog Millionaire, and I think most of the leading men in our industry said no to the film, and I just dived into it, and I did it. I've been a leading man all my life, and I'm just playing a small 8-9 day cameo in the film, and that cameo turned out to be very well. Then I did 24, which was television, and I said, you were from Oscar. The film has won 8 Oscars, and why are you doing television? I said, because I just want to do it. I like the role. I like the story. So what if it's television, And then I came back. I bought the rights of 24. 9 years back, I went from every broadcaster and all the the big guns in the Bombay film industry. I said, I want to do 24 as a season. I said, what is season? What is 24? I said, we do daily soaps over here. There is nothing like season over here. And I said, I want to do it. And I did it. And today, I think everybody is doing that. I did it 8 years back, 9 years back. So these kind of things I've done. There are certain films which I've done. Then there was a transition period which happened, where everybody wanted me to play only the lead role. But I said, no, my time, I cannot be delusional. I think I should, to a certain extent, do something which is which I be able to do for not for the next decade. I was thinking for the next 3 decades, for the next 4 days. I always believed in a marathon. I never believed in the 100-meter dash. So I said, let me look at it how it is going to be. I swear on God, you look at my interviews, and every time I've said that I want to be the marathon runner, not So that's the reason I've been in this business for the last 40 years, and hopefully for many more years. So that's the way I have been, in my own small way, try to be relevant. Of course. Now let me ask, if there are too many questions being asked to me, so I think you're turning the tables. So what are some of the changes that have been most, in Microsoft, Microsoft has undergone its, in its own transformation journey? Yeah.
It has. There's a famous management consultant named Peter Drucker, and he says, culture eats strategy for lunch. And that is so true, because you can see the journey that the company has gone through, and it's all been centered on culture. And it started when Satya Nadella, our CEO, read the book Mindset by a Stanford psychologist, Carol Dweck. And he took away from it this idea that if you have two people in a room and one's a learn-it-all and one's a know-it-all, the learn-it-all will go further. Even if they start from a deficit, they will go further if you're a listener and a learner. And he infused that idea, that simple idea, across the company, and it has taken us on our journey, this idea of having a growth mindset over the last 5 years, five and a half years since Satya stepped into that role. And it's changed everything. It's how we view our customers, it's how we view fellow employees, how we view the industry. It's have a growth mindset. Don't have a fixed mindset and say, we can't do this, or we can't do that, or we've tried that, didn't work. It's like, open your mind, have a growth mindset, and it's turned things around.
So what, to Rishika, thank you very much once more to Rishika. So what are your Eros' plans still of the next 2 decades?
So I think we touched a little bit on how we want to change the content viewing experience for the industry and for all of our users today. So very much like yourself, it's very important that it's not just the individual that reinvents itself, and very much to what Peggy just said as well, the company needs to continuously evolve and reinvent itself. And that's how we use technology and how we'd like to use technology. So be it ensuring that we can create hyper-local, hyper-customizable user experiences, or actually creating a very own extended reality for you and what you're watching. I think these are just a few of the things that we have in the pipeline, and it's very hard for me to predict to 2030, because whatever I predict today is probably going to be irrelevant in about 2 years anyway. So I think we're working on our extended reality suite, as well as ensuring that we can continue to serve and focus on the micro niche pockets of the world.
Great. I think anyone wants to ask questions? Yeah. Shall we?
I have another question for
Oh,
you.
okay. One second.
And it just kind of threw out to me. There's like a real lack of female representation in this room today. And you obviously are surrounded by a set of really, really strong females at home. I'd love to maybe have you speak to, I think, all of the men in this room about how to maybe deal with such strong females and how to help empower them to fulfill their dreams.
If you ask me, I just listen to them. And they're always right. That's the way I have, been in my life. I've been surrounded by, of course, you're right. I'm surrounded by very, very idealistic, independent women. My wife, who was my friend, who became my girlfriend, and my wife and the mother of my 3 children, was always independent. And matter of fact, when we met, obviously I was jobless and she had a job. And we've always been friends. And well, I would say, it's not only that I believe, for me, I think I always felt they're superior, to be honest with you. It's not that we believe, and I believe it. I believe in it. I sincerely believe, and I've always felt that she's uh, much more intelligent, superior, powerful, multitasking. So I think the more you respect them, more you listen to them, I think that's the success. And then I had two daughters who are successful also today in their own way. One is she speaks her mind, and I let her do that, and learns from her own mistakes. And she's done wonderful for herself. And wherever I go, they speak about her. And I said, "You have such a wonderful daughter, and she's so honest, she's so straightforward, and of course, she's beautiful, really beautiful." And then I've got a younger daughter, and there's who started very young, and both of them started very, very young. I think they were in their teens when they started working, and I encouraged them, and I said, "Let them be." I said, "This is the kind of film they want to make." I said, "Make it." I said, "But it's a tough world because it's a male-dominated industry, and I find it difficult to sometimes, they have gone through their ups and downs, emotionally ups and downs, where they're not taken seriously. But I said, you'll have to fight it out, and they fought it out. And I'm always there to encourage them. And if you encourage the girls, and I truly believe that the girls are, if you want to live a very happy life till you go away up there, I think girls are much better, much, much better than the boys. And
You have to clap to that.
and if you see now all over the world, I think all the girls are doing so well, and there are such great entrepreneurs, sportswomen, and in every field they're doing so well. And of course, there are not many girls. There is, I can see a girl over here, smiling over here. There is someone over there, and of course you're there. And I think the future belongs to the girls. And of course, if we men encourage, when I say we men also, I get a very firing from my wife. I say we all human beings, if we encourage and be positive, I think we'll have a greater future. And that's what I've done. Always let them be independent, positive, and whatever they want to do, and let them be. That's what I've done, and that's what everybody should do, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well,
I
that
think,
was.
I think we should ask at least. You want to ask a question?
I think people might have some questions
Yeah,
out
I
there.
think
So the
that'll be
floor
better.
is open for the question and answers.
Anyone?
Well, if
Hi,
anyone.
Yeah.
So, my name's Kenneth. I quickly want to ask, could you elaborate a little more about the synergy between Microsoft and Eros now, and how it's going to benefit both companies?
Well, I'll start and you, okay. Well, first and foremost, we're in two different industries. We're a technology enabler. We don't develop content. We're not in that business, but we're a platform business. And our goal is to enable Eros to meet their vision and your objectives on top of the platform. So we both have our separate swim lanes, if you will, and I think that helps us be very synergistic in what we're trying to build together.
Absolutely. And just to add on to what Peggy said, I think what's been really beautiful about working with Microsoft has been the collaborative nature of absolutely everyone throughout the organization. And that collaboration gives birth to a lot of new identities, new ideas, and opens up new ways of looking and thinking about what may be considered a very basic standardized technology stack. So it actually enables, I feel, for both of us to push the envelope to a new level which hopefully has not been achieved yet.
I have a follow-up question. I have a follow-up question to that. You quoted the cover of the Harvard Business Review saying that I think it was I forget, Peter Drucker. I think
Peter Drucker,
yeah.
yes.
So they see pop culture as on a rise. The question here is, where does Microsoft see itself in giving Desi pop culture a little more wing and wind beneath its wings? Particularly with this synergy with Eros now.
I might not have understood the question.
Yeah, sorry,
Desi.
I didn't quite get.
So Desi pop culture is on a rise. It's sort of consolidating now, and you find a wider psychographic coming together under that umbrella. The question is, since culture is the space that we're looking at, how could you elaborate a little more on how Microsoft
Like, share, and subscribe to TV Next Bollywood.